So I just kind of want to extend the last video just by a little bit, so everybody kind of has an understanding of uh, what to do when you're dealing with whole numbers. So let's just say we're dealing with when we in the previous question when we had for example 0.9. Well, we knew when we want that to represent it as a percentage, multiply that by 100%, so move the decimals twice. And when I mean move the decimal twice, 0.9, I mean, is really like that. So move the decimal once over here. So now you're left with 9.0000, and then you move it again to the right. Kind of bad drawing there, but you get the idea. So then you're left with 90%. So 90%. And like I said before, that's just it's an easy way of explaining to people that 90% of the population has this specific trait or is doing this. 90% of the workforce is employed, for example. It's an easy number to deal with. Uh, you can do this even if you have a whole number. So if you have, let's just say 3, well, you do want to convert percent, do the exact same thing. 3 times 100% is 300%. Um, we'll get into detail what a percent over 100 really, what that really means. But basically, you can convert anything to percent. Multiply by 100, keep the percent sign. There you go. And also when you're dealing with fractions. So, we always dealt with something like, where the top number was numerator was greater than the denominator. We'll get into detail with, numerator greater than the denominator. But when dealing with whole numbers, so, when you have the number 2, well, 2 really is 2 over 1. Um, the thing is, if a lot of people don't know, but you just don't include the 1, because if you want to imagine like the other question, where you have like, so you have a, a good way of saying it is like how we did before. You have one box, and 2 of them are colored, for example. Well, you have to draw another box now. And that essentially means, you filled up the first one, and you moved on to the second one. So you have, let's just say, 2 socks, and you want to put them in how many bins that can carry one. So 1 and 2, or whatever way you want to look at it. Basically, what I'm trying to get at is any number can be represented as a fraction. So that, because if you're really comfortable with doing like 9 out of 10 is 0.9, and going from there to percentage is easy when you see the fraction. You can take any number like, okay, 3 is really, or 31 is really, 31 over 1. Nobody writes to over 1, like I said. And you multiply that by 100%, that's 31%. That could just be the steps that you want to take, and the more comfortable you get, the more you realize you can just skip the step.